Hey guys, and welcome back to All In 7.5 filler episode. So this one's a little bit different today. So a lot of it has been training footage and I wanted to give a little bit of more something different because like we repeat the training, there's only so much I can go through. I have the same routine all the time, so it can get a bit monotonous. So I thought, what about what I eat in a day on a rest day to get shredded? So it's going to be literally all of what I can eat in a day. It's going to have my calories just up here as well at the moment. So I'm on roughly 2,300, was it 2,004? No, 2,300 calories at the moment. And I've kind of been on a meal plan actually since basically the start of prep. The reason for that is because I could have just calorie tracked the whole way through it and I would have had a lot more choice and I could have brought in foods here and there and so on like that. But I just wanted to have foods that worked with me, and I didn't want to have any like ideas of like, right, I'll change this out, make some changes here, because I think when in prep you start doing that and you have all this choice and you start having foods that you're not used to having because you just fancy some variety, you can get some digestion issues, you can get some havoc, and your routine goes all over the place. Whereas I've got a meal plan set by my coach. I know exactly when I'm going to have it. I'm going to have it like there, I'm going to have the lunch and so on like that. And it's the same foods, and my digestion the whole way through this prep has been basically bang on. Like I've had like no issues, which is for me like has previously been a problem. So we'll be in the same foods today. We'll be kind of just showing like what I eat, what my little tips and tricks were to make it a little bit better, and yeah, that'll be pretty much it. Nothing too crazy, and then we'll come back in with a training video for the next video, guys. Please excuse the layout that I have. We're in literally a small one-bed apartment for me and Katie. We're moving to our new home hopefully the end of this month, which is long overdue. We've been like here for like a year and a half, and like it's tight. Like it is really, really tight, but you make do with what you've got to do. Like it's been all in on business, it's been all in on like focusing and growing and so on like that. Like we've just had to deal with the small circumstances that we have with our housing. We have to commute every day, which is a bit of a nightmare to work. So when we move to our new place, we'll have more space for the dogs, more space to have a family, have our own rooms, have an office as well as, and yeah, just be more relaxed. And I'll do a lot more filming when I get back home. But anyway, let's get straight into it. Right, so let's get into meal one. So like on a rest day, like I will push this meal back a little bit later on in the day. So it's like now 9ish, 9:30. I actually would have probably done this around 9, but I've had quite a few things to do, set up a camera and so on like that. So as soon as I wake up in the morning, so I'm normally waking up anywhere between like 4 a.m. to like 5:30 at the moment. I'm actually enjoying getting up early, although like it's not a choice. I'm enjoying it because I get time to do stuff in the morning. So straight away I'll wake up, and firstly, before having anything meal wise, before I do my cardio, before I take all of my fat burners and so on like that, I will literally have some apple cider vinegar in half a pint of water. Okay, this is for digestion. I will then put some electrolytes into my water, as well as I will put also a little bit of less sodium salt in there as well. And I'll also put in this thing just up here as well, which is psyllium husk powder, which is just some fiber basically. So if you are struggling with your digestion and you're having issues, try doing this first thing in the morning. Also, like husk powder to get more fiber can help you out a lot if you're feeling a little bit blocked up. And the other thing that I'll go into is digestion, which we'll talk about while I'm eating a little bit later on. So that's first things first, and then we'll go into meal one. So meal one is literally been the same the whole way through prep. We've got bagels by Warburton. The ones that are already sliced are so convenient. In prep, it's all about making things as convenient as possible. The next thing that we have is 4 rashers of bacon medallions. You want to make sure that your bacon is like, I'm very like picky with my bacon. I don't want to have like loads and loads of lines with it and loads of fatty. So if it's as clear as possible, I'll try and go for that. I then have 3 whole eggs, which I've got from my Egg Connect. So free range, the yolk is so much better. And then I will just add in some mushrooms, as well as I'll have a little bit of sauerkraut as well for that first meal for a bit of digestion, and then a little bit of salad as well, as just kind of bulking out those foods. They're low in calorie and they're great for digestion. So let's get into it. So cooking wise, we're using Frylight, we're using a 1 cal spray. So we're gonna get that nice and soaked, get about 4 or 5 pumps into that one there. We're gonna preheat our air fryer as well. So, and if you don't have an air fryer, what are you doing? It's 2023, you need to get one. They're so convenient. Like all of this, it takes time to prep, but if you can make things more convenient, like using an air fryer, using like microwavable pouch rices that I'll use a little bit later on, it can save you so much time, and you don't have to like worry about like time being the problem, because I know we don't have time in the morning. So anything that saves me a bit of time, like I'm busy, I've got people like PT, I've got check-ins to do, I need to get things done quickly. So air fryer Ninja, amazing. I also use one of the little holders that go in there so I don't have to constantly clean it as well. Bought that on the Amazon Prime Day. They have been so convenient. So just heat that up a little bit, get my 4 rashers in there ready. And then we'll get on to how I cook my eggs very, very well. Like, I think the way you cook your eggs is, like, so many times I see people and it just looks like cardboard on their eggs. Like, I like to have mine soft and fluffy, and I'll go through how I do that any second. Right, so cooking eggs, okay, this is like a little technique that I learned when I did like an a winter season working away. So eggs can get butchered, and I hate having fried eggs. I love scrambled eggs. If you do them right, they can be perfect. The biggest problem is people burn it, okay? So get your pan hot, okay? Get it nice and warm, like not boiling hot, but like the oil is just, the firelight is starting to cook a little bit, starting to not go starting to go a bit clearer. And once we've got it like that, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our eggs, okay? So 3 whole eggs. We're then going to quickly, as I'm in between this, we're just going to take it off the heat. And as soon as I've got that 3rd egg in there, I'll keep those eggshells for the dog, they'll love it. I'm going to get it stirring straight away off the pan, because already, like, I don't need to have the heat on it just yet, because there's already heat in the pan. So this is the big thing, is like you want to basically get your eggs and use it as if you're making a cake mixture, like constantly get it moving. Like, this is going to take a little bit of time, but who doesn't like having lovely eggs? And it's so much better than having dry eggs. Like, every time I've rushed this or I've left this, I eat my breakfast and I'm like, that was not optimal. And like in prep, I'm 5 weeks out, just under 5 weeks out. I want to have everything as beautiful as perfect, just so it makes my life a little bit nicer and easier for that day, okay? The little things really, really count. So I'm literally just stirring it on the heat now. I will take it off, let it off a little bit for a bit, get it back onto the heat, leave it for a second, just check if like as soon as it starts to get some like skin coming out of the bottom, then I'll take off the heat again and get it going, okay? So now we're just serving up. So this is how freaking good the air fryer, like perfect bacon like that just there. We're gonna add some mushrooms into there as well. Like, please be careful when getting stuff out of the air fryer. I have done so many little burns on my hands over since having the air fryer, just because I'll go in there like eager to eat it, and I'll just be like, and then I'll burn my hand, and I'll be like, Katie, I've got something bad on me. But anyway, here is the eggs. Which is super lovely, and they are perfect for me. To be fair, I'll be honest, I did leave them on the cooker just a second ago and they dried out a little bit, but you can counteract that by putting a little bit of milk in there if you need to. So if you feel like your eggs are getting a little bit too dry, add a little bit of milk into them. Perfect. And then we're literally going to season them like that, and we're going to put in a little bit of ketchup. Then we're going to also add a little bit of low salt onto all of this meal. Salt is not the devil, salt is needed. Your body needs the electrolytes, it needs the salt. I've noticed a massive difference in performance and training since I started salting it. And look at that, what I eat on prep, it's minging, isn't it? Absolutely horrendous. Dieting's hard, right? So just starting meal 1, literally. So before I do meal 1, I'll take my supplements for the day. So I've got a multivit, I've got a basically all-in-one like heart support as well, a cod liver oil, as well as with the all-in-one support, I've got like vitamin D in there, magnesium, absolutely everything in there. So like my biggest recommendations for supplementation, it all depends on what you're doing. Like, so if you're assisted, if you're natural and so on like that, if you're assisted, then you're going to be using obviously a lot more supplementation to help and aid yourself yourself, like while you're using these compounds. If you're natural and just wanting for your general health, I would always recommend taking a cod liver oil to make sure you've got high EPA and DPA in there. I think it's the wonder drug, and it's helped a lot since I've started taking it, especially even for mental health. I would say a vitamin D3 and K2, great for overall immune support. Also, like, kind of helps you from getting ill all the time. And I would also a good multivitamin, and then just creatine. I would say like anywhere between 5 grams plus a day. So I'm actually, depending on your body weight, if you're a little bit heavier, I would take more. So I take around 7 to 8 grams a day. So yeah, if you are a bit heavier of a person, I would encourage you having more than that. You don't need to load it, just take that 5 or 7 grams a day as standard. So I'm just going to down this before I eat, because I find if I have my tablets after I've eaten, I can like kind of taste the cod liver oil. So I'm going to just neck these down. And then we're going to get into meal 1. After we've done meal 1, we're going to get prepping for meal 2, get it prepped, and then it's ready to have for later. So like going on to prep, as soon as I've had breakfast and as soon as I've eaten, like I will go straight into prepping meal 2, just because like now after like having meal 1, I'm going to go straight into workflow of getting some client check-ins done as well and so on, and some new startups, and I just want to get in a good flow of that. And I find if I'm having to stop like an hour in between to like then cut and prep food, it just ruins the flow. So I like to get it done as soon as I can. So what I'm going to be having, meal number 2, is chicken, 169 grams of chicken, free range from the butchers. Massive game changer. I went from having chicken from the supermarket and with my mince and everything like that, I now get everything from the butchers. The difference is unparalleled. Like the quality is so much better. I used to get loads of water with the other stuff. I actually went back to supermarket chicken and mince because I wanted to see the comparison about a month ago, and I'll never go back. Like, it is a little bit more expensive, but the quality is so much better. And like, you are what you eat and what you're putting into you want to be good quality, especially in prep. And like, I don't buy loads and loads of crap and stuff and spend myself plenty of time on like superficial shit. So I will literally just invest into good quality food. So 169 grams of chicken going in. If you're not cutting up your chicken with scissors, what are you doing? Using a knife and fork is so old school. A knife and fork, using a knife just to cut it out on the chopping board, is so old school. This is just so much more convenient. Get some nice little chunkies in there. And then what I'm going to do to this chicken to make it taste good, and it's actually low calorie, 169 on the dot, unbelievable, is I'm going to use some marinade from Nando's, which is really good, and actually has been such a game changer in my chicken and rice level up. Like, I used to use like garlic powder and paprika and a bit of like fry light or olive oil if I was in the off season, but this is macro friendly. You've got the medium hot lemon lime, the hottest class. I'm using the medium at the moment just because I'm just going through it. I put 20 grams of that. It's got next to nothing on there, so per serving 0.8 grams of fat, 1.4 grams of carbs, and there's like hardly anything in it, so it's really good. Obviously be sparing with it, use the recommended amount of 20 grams, don't be a dick. Obviously in prep we need to make sure like all of these things are pretty much bang on, and that is exactly the amount I want. So I'll literally just marinate my chicken in this. It needs like 20-30 minutes, but if you're in a rush, like I have done it in like 5-10 minutes and just put it straight in, or just literally marinate it for like through my hands and go straight in. The next thing that I'll use to make my rice nice and quick is rice pouches. It takes a minute. Like, cooking rice is such a long process, so it's not the best obviously for environment and whatever like that, but when we're bodybuilders we want things convenient and we want things now, and it just takes less time. So that'll be ready for when I am wanting my dinner. I'll literally put pang that in for a minute, that will be all cooked. I will then put in some frozen vegetables. The steam fresh ones at the moment from Bird's Eye have exactly the amount I want it. I put it in the microwave 3 minutes. So my chicken meal prep and something like that, I can meal prep within 10-11 minutes, and like that could be, if I put more volume into that, I can meal prep for the whole day. So there is no excuse not to meal prep your food. Like, it takes so little time if you have the right tools and you want it badly enough. Like, the people say, oh, I didn't have time in the morning. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. Why don't we go to bed a little bit earlier, maybe wake up a little bit earlier and cook it while we're doing our breakfast? Like, you can multitask. Do you not think people have less time than you and get these things done? Also, if you are really slow on time, look at a meal prep company potentially as well to help you out. If your goals mean enough to you, you will make a way. So do that. If you are like on the go and you need to get something quick and easy in, I go for the Bodybuilder Survival Pack, which is just sushi, get some sushi pack, buy some chicken from the supermarket, cooked obviously, maybe like a Huel protein shake or a protein shake from YouFit, which got 50 grams. You can eat conveniently on the go. You just got to be mindful and just think before you just literally impulsively get stuff, okay? So think ahead and you can hit your goals no problem whatsoever, even with a busy workflow. Time of the month, you've not had that much great sleep, but you've been doing activities that make you feel better and your training has been going great, and you know how important training is. So we are just into meal 2 now. So I'd already prepped my chicken previously, so it's just finished in the air fryer. I've still got check-ins, so this is how convenient it is. Perfect, absolutely perfect chicken. Well, you can't hardly see it, but perfect chicken in there, which is brilliant. I've then just had my literal rice packet there put in, so that goes in there. 250 grams of basmati rice. Seems to be the best. I prefer it over long grain, just easier easier for taste, easier to digest as well. So that's that. We're then gonna put our chicken in. And the chicken is absolutely perfect as well. Like, there's nothing worse than cooking chicken in a frying pan and overcooking in it. You get worried about it consciously. Whereas I know with this chicken, if I get it cut well, cook it, preheat the air fryer a little bit, get it on for like 11 minutes, give it a shake halfway through, that chicken is absolutely perfect every time. I'm then going to put my salt on as well. So I'm having 6 to 7 grams of salt per day. I use sea salt. So I'll literally get that out, I'll put the scales on, I'll weigh 6 to 7 grams in there, okay, and then I've got that for the rest of the day. And then it's literally just a case of just putting it on top of my food, like so, okay, and that's it. So if you don't know how much salt you should be having, weigh it out at the start, put it in a little container, and then that's what you're going to be using for the rest of the day, okay? So that is all sorted. So that is meal numero 2 going in. After that, what we're going to do is just finish off a few more check-ins. I'm then going to go do an additional training session that's actually not on my program, but I've just been adding it in. I'm going to go do like accessory days. So I will, like, in between my rest days, depending on how I'm feeling, if I'm feeling fucked, I'll have a rest day. But if I'm not, I will go and train like weaker body parts. So for me, I'm going to do a little bit of a side delt, rear delt exercises, and I'm also going to do some tricep work. The reason I'm not going to do biceps is because I did do pull yesterday, so I did do biceps, so I'm just going to give them a bit of a rest, and then I'll probably add some biceps into my leg session just to give them an additional top up, okay? So yeah, be clever with adding extra exercises, extra sessions in. Obviously talk to your coach a little bit about it, but if you are wanting to bring up a body part that's lagging on a day off, you could just add a 15-20 minute session, just blasting them. They're fine. Biceps, shoulders, and calves, they can recover quite quickly, so they can endure a lot of volume in there, so don't worry about them impacting your recovery that much. So we are back from the gym. We've just had a little accessory day of delts and triceps. So we're going on to meal number 3 now. It's actually one of my favorite meals. So we are going on to literally cream of rice, 50 grams of cream of rice. We're using Trained by JP. The maple syrup flavor is absolutely phenomenal. And then we're gonna have 45 grams of vegan protein in there. Normally I use Perforem, but this is JP stuff. It's okay, like it is okay for vegan proteins, but the Perforem caramel is unbelievable, and that mixed with the maple spit syrup is just like next level. I'm then gonna add 80 grams of raspberries in there. We're gonna literally just make this with a kettle. Like, it is so simple to do, and like I would thoroughly recommend, like, if you are stuck for like and you want something quick and easy to take with you, get some cream of rice and some protein and just take that with you to work, because all you need is a kettle. And it's simple, easy. Cream of rice has got hardly any fat in it, full of carbs, quick and easy. It mixes really well, tastes delicious. You literally have no excuse for not prepping. Like, it can be as basic as you want. It doesn't have to be all this luxury and looking really, really good. So we're just going to put in the magic amounts in here now. So 50 grams in here. Oh, 52. 49. Yeah, 50. Get that out of the way then. So that's that one done. Let's get the vegan protein in there by JP. Chocolate caramel, it's alright, it's not too bad. Okay, and then we're going to put 45 grams in there. So grand total of 95. Every gram matters now. Nice, cool, so that is done. I will put the raspberries in afterwards. I'm gonna mix that around a little bit, get myself a nice spoon, mix it in together. The only difference, so on a training day, my post-workout would be crunchy nut, 125 grams. However, just because I want a little bit more food volume, in the last day or so, well, in the last week, I actually have changed my crunchy nut to cream of rice as well, as just because you get a lot more density with 100 grams than you do with crunchy nut. I feel like I love crunchy nut. I love having that as a post-workout. It's so simple. It gets in there really quickly, really good on digestion. But I just want foods now that are a little bit more filling, because every time I eat a meal, I'm literally hungry within like 20 minutes at the moment post food. So it's less than ideal. I should have used a bigger bowl here, because I am this is what I'm dealing with right now. It is hardly any mixing room, so absolute muppet. And you want it soft, so you want to mix it right up, kind of like how I did my eggs. You want to kind of keep stirring it, getting all the lumps out as much as possible. And then what we're going to be doing after this is putting our raspberries on top of this, and then we're going to put a little bit of our sea salt on top of it. I love a bit of sea salt on top, it makes it so nice. And that's pretty much where we want it to be. I find if I use too much liquid and I make it too watery, yes, it's more palatable and smoother, but you're getting water from there as well, and can make you a little bit bloated. If you find that you're bloated during your eating, try not to consume water while you're eating. Have it before or after your meal. So we're going to add 80 grams of like raspberries onto this one. Zero out. Boom. A little bit of salt. And we are sorted. So still got my salt for the rest of my meals for later on. I've got two more meals after this, which is really, really good. I've actually been, because I spaced out my meals a little bit more, and I've been busy doing all my work, I've kind of like not been too hungry today, which has been a nice. Also, I've reduced my volume of work of PT, so I'm not constantly doing loads of PT at the moment, which is great. And I'm making sure now the next few weeks leading up to the end of the show day, I've reduced my working, so I'm not doing so much physical PT anymore. I'm doing just kind of all online, and making sure I'm spending more time focusing on myself and my current clients. So I'm going to eat this, and then I'm going to relax. I've just downloaded some new games for my PlayStation 5. I hardly ever game. I've just downloaded Ghost of Tsushima, which is supposed to be really good, and Dead West as well, I think it is. So yeah, exciting. So I'll be playing a little bit of that in a minute. But I hope you like the little Physique update I just did earlier. Let's get meal 3 done. Boom. Okay guys, so we are literally going in for meal 5. Is it meal 5? Yeah, no, it's meal 4, my mistake. So meal 4, I've just been chilling playing Ghost of Tsushima for the first time, and wow, what a fucking game. I have not played a good game like that in ages. Just started, and the graphics on a PS5 are immaculate. It's the first time I played like a proper PS5 game as well, apart from Astro's World, which is also very, very good, which comes with the game. Anyway, so we are starting off with meal 4, so we are finishing off with meal 4. So 187 grams of mince, okay, butcher's meat as well. We've got a basmati rice packet in there. We then have 80 grams of blueberries as well to be added into there, and also then we've got about anywhere between around 160 grams of veg. So we'll have this added with the blueberries. I might put a little bit more salad in there just to bulk it out. How I do my mince, so I'm just going to set my scales there, reset them. I think this will be, yes, it is enough, that's fine. So I'm going to put that in there, so weigh that up to 187 grams. 187 grams, that's that sorted. And then what I do, like with mince, you can obviously cook it in the frying pan, but I'm just so chilled with using the Ninja. All I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bit of salt. That salt's gone everywhere. Most of it didn't go in the pan, so I'm going to put the remainder of the salt that's fallen in there. You can tell I've just trained, my hands are all over the place. A bit of salt, some black pepper, like that. And I will use a little bit of like garlic powder just to give a little bit more taste in there. I don't put much seasoning on my last meal just because I find sometimes I can get a little bit of a flare up if I use a bit too much garlic. So I'll use the smallest amount and just put that in there. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of paprika in there, and then all I'm going to be doing is literally putting this in together and pushing it into this little bowl here, kind of like making myself like a big patty. And then what I'll do is I'll get my air fryer ready. Sorry, the battery just died there, which was good because it gave me time to like clean up the mess of all the salt that I just literally threw everywhere. So now that it's made into a patty, the air fryer's been on for about 2 minutes. All I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get a knife, and I'm literally going to cut this bang on in half. So I've got like kind of like 2 little patties basically. We're then going to get this into the air fryer. So we've got kind of like some like little moons there, I guess. Put those in. Push that into the air fryer. And then literally I'm going to put that in for roughly on 200 for about 8 minutes. That will come out absolutely golden. In the meantime, I'm just going to cook my rice, get my plate together, and then that is meal 4, pretty much ready to rock and roll. It's literally just finished, which is perfect. The Ninja has finished cooking as well, and I'm excited for this food because that last meal that I had literally went in my system, got digested within 10-15 minutes, and I was starving hungry for the rest of the afternoon. So I'm excited for this meal because the last meal doesn't have any carbs in, so this is the last carb meal of the day. So this is the result. I don't know if you can see it. All the oil is draining off in the corner. So what I do now is I get a bit of not blue roll, I'm not at the gym, I get some kitchen roll, and I literally bring this onto the wooden pan firstly here, get it there, and I just drip, because I've collected all that oil in there, but there's going to be a little bit on my food, so I just literally just pat down my burgers just a little bit more, my little patties, and then I add it on to that, which is just beautiful. Finished off with a little bit of hot sauce. I'm coming to the end of Tingly Ted's. First time I've ever used this. I'm normally a massive Frank's guys, but Tingly Ted was on offer. It's brand new by Ed Sheeran. Shout out my ginger brother. And it's so good. Like, I'm really, really happy with it. It's a great hot sauce. So that is that. Obviously I spilled a bit of my sodium, so I know I've got a little bit to add into this. So that's just going to go, and this is the low salt that I'm using now. Just a little bit over, and then a bit of black pepper. Black pepper is a great tool for digestion. It helps your digestive system, adds a bit more of a kick, and I think it's good for your immune system. So I love it. So that is meal number 4, loads of food volume in there. I'll be starving after 20-30 minutes again after this, and then we're just going to finish off with our last meal of the day, which is going to be a salmon meal with vegetables. So I'm going to get into this, guys, because I'm freaking starving. But enjoy. Right, guys, so we are wrapping up this video now. So I was going to do my final meal, which is meal 5. I was going to cook that and so on, but it's pretty standard. It's just literally a salmon in the air fryer, some mixed vegetables, and that is it. And the reason why I'm wrapping it up is because I haven't seen Katie all day. Katie's about to come back in about the next 45 minutes to an hour, and I want to surprise her with a nice cooked meal for her when she gets when she comes through the door. And I don't want to spend time I've got to record this and so on like that. So I'm wrapping up all in 7.5. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. A day in the life of eating. I'll probably do another one of these when we have a refeed day and we've got more food to go in. But the next one after this will probably be either a Q&A, some questions that I've put on my story, or if you have any questions you want to put in the comments below, you can do, or it might be another training footage. So let me know what you guys want. If you want something and you're interested in a Q&A, put some questions in. I'll ask on Instagram as well. If you're not following me on Instagram, give me a follow. And I'll probably ask on Instagram what the people want. What do you guys want? What gives you the best entertainment? Is it training footage? Is it food? Or is it some few other random questions you have? Anyway, guys, this was all in 7.5. It's been a pleasure. I hope you like the update of the physique. I hope you enjoyed my day of eating and me spilling my salt everywhere. But for now, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys soon. And don't forget to give a like, a follow, and be a subscriber. See you guys in a bit.